So Ghost of Yōtei came out, beginning of October? I think it was like the 8th or so.
Like a lifetime ago at this stage.
It honestly does feel like a lifetime ago. I've played a couple of hours. I haven't got deep into it. I am enjoying what I'm playing so far, but I will say that it is very familiar. It feels very much like Tsushima. It feels maybe in the same year as Assassin's Creed Shadows, especially with its story being almost identical to that sort of revenge tale. It's very, very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, even I mean, they could never have known, but the fact that it's like right out the gates, your family's been murdered, and that's not a spoiler. You literally happens in the first 3 seconds of the game. It's like, you've got to go kill these 6 people, and it's like, that's pretty much what Assassin's Creed was as well. It's like, there's these prolific figures, and you've got to go hunt them down. And you're right, it just feels, it's not a copy paste, but it's just wild that is, both studios independently went like, let's do a revenge tale, and then they structured it similarly. I mean, I don't know how else you would structure it, because in terms of gameplay, you're always going to make it that, there'll be a build up to the end boss, whatever. But yeah, it's just so funny that happened. And you best believe
what a coincidence.
There will be people going, I can't believe that these devs copied Assassin's Creed. All these PlayStation fanboys giving Assassin's Creed shit, and then their studio goes and just copies it. Game dev,
because
doesn't
that
work
can
like
definitely
that.
happen in 8
like
months between
8
release.
months, yeah, cool. Just restructure your whole game. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, 100%, it's Ghost of Tsushima, which is not a bad thing, because Ghost of Tsushima is really fun. But it is just, I don't know if it's in a bad way, but it is super familiar. I'm not far enough to go like, I've played this game before. Or just picking it up, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty familiar. I don't know if that's going to be detrimental when I actually sink my teeth into this game.
I know one of the big things that has obviously changed in this one compared to Tsushima is just more flexibility when it comes to loadouts and the weapons that your protagonist Atsu gets access to. I haven't really experienced a lot of that yet. I've got like a bow, and I've got obviously just my sword. But I've found her combat to be slightly more dynamic. It is still the same, almost like the rock, paper, scissors approach from the first one, where it's like, here are unblockable attacks, here are attacks that can only be parried, here are attacks that can be parried and countered, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then certain enemies have certain defenses that prevent specific attacks. I really like how you can use enemies' weapons on the ground around you. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, you can kick up a sword and then throw that at an enemy, which seems really cool.
Yeah.
And also, like, Atsu just seems way more, Jin was a samurai. He was bound by like a certain code, and the whole story of Tsushima revolved around him breaking away from that
code. Yeah.
Atsu does not give a shit.
No.
She's just there for revenge. She seems quite ruthless in certain ways, and I like playing her as someone who's ruthless. And that is a cool change from Tsushima in terms of tone, which I think really drives Yōtei a bit more in that, like in a different direction. Put it that way.
No, yeah. With regards to the weapon stuff, I've only unlocked like dual blades, and it is a thing if you can use this in any situation. However, you should use it in this situation. And they do the same thing with Tsushima, where you feel it's like, if I use this stance against this weapon, like there's a noticeable, like, I destroy this enemy way quicker. So it is interesting. Like, I know when I get into the thick of it, it'll be the same thing of learning, the fun of flipping between different stances or weapons quickly to like manage enemies as they come to you. And it is interesting, where I remember playing Ghost of Tsushima the first time, there's no camera lock-on system, which baffled me at the time. I was like, how can I not lock onto these enemies? But you fast learn, that's the way the game's structured, where you just have to face, the way the camera works. You'll see now in the footage, the way the camera works, you're like kind of plonked in the middle, and then enemies are around you, and you have to kind of just face that way as they come at you. And it's just something that takes a bit of getting used to, I guess. But it's an interesting combat system, and like you mentioned earlier, it is cool that you can pick up stuff around you to deal with enemies in flashy ways that are unnecessary. And Atsu is like ruthless. It's completely ruthless, and I'm also here for it.
There's also I don't recall if Jin had this ability, but you have once you've killed a certain number of enemies without taking damage, you can activate almost like this. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a ghost mode, and everything goes black and white, and you kind of like instill fear in the enemies around you, and you can almost like one hit kill them. That's pretty cool.
He did have that, but it was.
Did he have the similar thing? Okay,
but it was done differently though. He had the thing where same thing, where you fill up a meter, and then his thing was you could like one hit a sequence of enemies. Whereas hers,
it was like you bouncing between them.
Yeah, whereas hers, it's a thing of like at the moment, early game, you can do that to like a enemy who falls over. So we'll see how that's fleshed out because I have no idea.
There's a lot of obviously a lot of upgrade trees depending on like, do you want to put points in your sword, or do you want to put points in defense or stealth or this and that? And I like how those are tied to the shrines that you have to visit, rather than, at least from my understanding, it's not XP tied. So it's not.
No.
You're rewarded for exploring the world and encountering different types of enemies and stuff like that to upgrade Atsu as you go. The world is also an interesting. People doing speed runs up and down the.
I heard that.
I think the world so far exploring it feels a bit more like natural. It's like placing markers around the map or using bits of like fragments of map to determine where a particular enemy or objective is. And I've found just moving through the world, coming across things that I want to do in a very natural way. It reminds me, it's nowhere near as fluid as like a Breath of the Wild, but you can tell that's where the inspiration is drawn from. And I think it's a lot better than just having waypoints on the map, which was similar to Tsushima in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same way. I've had good fun just opening my map and just riding off somewhere and going, oh, there's a thing there to do. Oh, now there's another thing to do. Oh, there's a shrine quickly to get to. So I'm enjoying that part of it, just the exploration. And even just riding around in this game visually, it's just like I think obviously Ghost of Tsushima looked good on the PS4, and then when it did get ported to the PS5, also looked really good.
It did, it had its director's cut version.
Yeah, this game, built specifically for the PS5, and it's like they've taken those colors and just like turned up the pop a lot because everything's so like bright and beautiful. It's like, wow,
saturation up to 200%.
Yeah, super picturesque, and it looks really good. That photo.
I think this is the difference I found with like Assassin's Creed Shadows and even Tsushima at the time. It's one's going for more realistic look, whereas I think Tsushima and now Yōtei are very much like, what if this was a painting in motion? It is very overemphasized colors, but to make these environments really pop, like you said. I think it looks really, really good. And it knows what it's doing. Like the opening is very reminiscent of the first game. I don't think it's as earned as it, because it kind of just does it right at the start, whereas
it just happens.
I think in Tsushima it's like 2 hours in, and this like late credit scene just happens, and it's like quite insanely good. But it is still the map is completely different to Tsushima. Obviously, it's in a different part of the country, different prefecture, and Yōtei, like seeing the mountain just being an ever-present thing is just incredible. It just looks really, really good.
Yeah, visually, just chef's kiss. Really, really pretty game.
Uses a lot of that the DualSense as well. You can tell this is a first-party game, because there's like, drag your finger across the touchpad to paint this thing, or have you played around with the little like, it's not a guitar, but I don't know what the instrument's called.
As well,
that also makes use of a lot of the DualSense features. There's also, when you create a fire at your camp, you have to blow on your controller to blow the embers to light the fire. This is a lot of that bullshit, but it is kind of neat. Yeah, and it doesn't really get in the way of anything. I
think the best execution still is unsheathing and sheathing your sword. It's just slide right. And I always like that. It's just you do it and you see it happen, and you're like, oh.
It's also, there's nothing more badass than slowly sheathing or unsheathing your sword in a game like this. It just feels great. Yeah.
There's
no, it is good. It's familiar, but it's good. Yeah.
I know there's different difficulties, but there's none of that that mode that you and I both like. What's it called?
Yes. So I think in Tsushima it was called lethal mode. So there is an equivalent.
A lethal mode here, yeah.
But I tried it and I not immediately, but very quickly turned it off because it was different. It was way more brutal, and it felt like it wasn't respecting the same rules where I wasn't instantly killing enemies, but they were instantly killing me.
Yeah, that's what was my biggest worry, because I wanted to be the same, where it's 1 for 1.
Yeah, because that's what that mode was in Tsushima, and I really liked that because it was high risk, high reward. But here, I mean, I died multiple times in the game's opening combat section, and those are just fairly regular enemies. So it doesn't feel the same, and I know you can tweak settings independently of one another. You can tweak enemy aggressiveness or health or this and that, but that mode just cranks everything up to max, so even enemy health is right up there.
No.
So I turned it off. I was just well, this isn't the same thing, which is a bummer because I really enjoyed that mode in Tsushima.
Yeah, I wonder if it's not something they'll address in a future patch or updates, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just not sure why they unbalanced it like that and then kept the name of the mode. It just seems weird.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's not just me. I was am I missing something here? But it seems you had the same experience.
Yeah. It's a good time though. I'm keen to keep playing more for sure.
Yeah. It's very good, and I'm invested in Atsu. I think she's a cool character, and I just kind of want to keep exploring this world because it is just I said the same as Tsushima. It's a very comfort food game. Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's doing anything remarkable or new. And the same was for Tsushima. I think Tsushima hit at a time where Assassin's Creed had really not gone off the deep end, but it wasn't delivering on that sort of fantasy anymore. And it filled that gap. I think Yōtei now exists in a world where that gap is filled somewhat. So it has a bit more to prove, or an uphill battle in that regard, but I'm enjoying it more than I did Shadows already. So
yeah, Shadows, it's just, I like Shadows has its flaws, but I will give Ubisoft credit in that I think it was probably the best Assassin's Creed in a long time, and even just visually, I think they nailed it. The season system in that game is gorgeous. I remember playing that game going it's going to get the comparisons to Ghost of Tsushima, but like we said earlier, there's different approaches to how they've done it, but their game was also super beautiful. So
that's a good point. I actually forgot about the seasons, and they used it quite frequently, which yeah, you're right. It was really good. I think playing as Naue in Shadows was pretty much as closest to a Assassin's Creed experience that I want from that studio still. So I did enjoy that, and I think Atsu is very similar to Naue in that way. She is the combination of the two characters, so maybe it's just I'm vibing with that a little bit more.
Yeah, but I definitely, again, this isn't a knock against Assassin's Creed because I enjoyed it, but where you lose me with a game like that, and I know it's a dumb criticism, but it's too RPG, where I can't go into an enemy camp where there's enemies higher level than me because they'll just kill me. I can't even try to fight them. Whereas the leveling in Yōtei is just it feels more, I know it's a game, but it feels more real. I can go wherever I want, and I can kind of tackle whatever I want. I'm not restricted by invisible numbers or some system somewhere.
No, I totally agree with you, and that's the part of the whole RPG approach of Assassin's Creed that has not really gelled with me in a long time. Because it removes that whole I can't silently assassinate these enemies just because they have an arbitrary number, and now I have to hit them multiple times. It's silly. I don't like that, and I think that's why Tsushima excelled, and I think that's why Yōtei still has a place for people looking for something like that.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Cool. Ghost of Yōtei. I mean, I'm still definitely going to be playing it, and I think that's going to be like a game I'll play a bunch during like holiday season when there's a bit more downtime, and just to kind of like sink teeth into something when I have a bit more time during the day. So very, very keen to get more time into that.